Well, the Bears are beginning their defense of their NFC North championship, even though it didn't end well in the postseason. We both have them going to the playoffs this year.
Yes, we do.
It's time to unveil our NFC picks, and we both have the Bears as the 3 seed in the NFC.
Crazy,
and
Mike.
This is another
Stop
one.
looking at my
This is another.
work,
Listen,
okay?
I had my. You quit looking off of my homework. I had my picks done Thursday. I published them Tuesday morning. You did yours Sunday. You published them yesterday afternoon on your podcast.
Yeah, actually yesterday morning too.
We got 5 out of 6 of the same teams again.
Yeah.
We've got we both have the Eagles, Panthers, Bears, Seahawks, and Cowboys getting to the playoffs. We only differ on the Vikings and the Saints. I've got Minnesota as the 5 seed. You've got the Saints stealing the 6 seed. Other than that, we're identical. And a little seeding difference. I've got the Seahawks at 2 and the Panthers at 4. You've got the Panthers at 2, the Seahawks at 4. But other than that, we've got a pretty identical. I mean, it's 10 out of 12 playoff teams. Think about this. There's 32 teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
We have 10 out of the same 12 playoff teams.
That means we're working too much together, texting too much together, and we've basically flushed out our thoughts together on air throughout the offseason and how we feel about these football teams. And, yeah, I feel good about it. I mean, it's one of those things. I do. I think the Eagles are going to be the best team in the NFC. I certainly do. One of my big reasons with them is, first 6 games, I do think they're going to get off to a good start. Really, their first 6 games are against all inferior football teams. Another reason I take them, because some of their biggest games are at home, whether it's the Patriots, the Seahawks, the Bears, and then at the end of the season, the Cowboys got to go to Philadelphia. It was really what put me over the top to go, okay, I'm going to make Philly my number 1 seed. The Panthers, I think, are probably the one that's going to surprise the most people out there.
That surprises me that you have them as the 2 seed.
Yeah, right. I know. I just, I look at the Panthers as going, ooh, it's the best talent I've seen around Cam Newton as far as weapons. The offensive line has been solidified. It's big. It's overpowering. I like that. We've seen how special Christian McCaffrey is. I have one issue with the Carolina Panthers. They got great size on the front 7. Linebackers are good. I like Bradbury and Dante Jackson at corner. Pass rushers, that's the only thing we need to see. And that's why they drafted Brian Burns at number 15 or 16 in the NFL draft. They just need a guy to be a little bit more disruptive in that department. But, yeah, I'm picking this to be one of those years like a 2015 where I think the Panthers are very dangerous.
I think we both assume that the Eagles will have Carson Wentz most of the year.
Yes.
They're not the number 1 seed. Now, look, they were the number 1 seed 2 years ago. They lost him in December, and they were the underdog in every playoff game that they would go on to win. But you are assuming both Wentz and Cam Newton will stay healthy.
Yes,
With
I
Newton,
am.
I don't know what to think anymore.
I know. It's scary. It does scare me, too.
We saw him for a glimpse in the playoffs, or in the preseason, rather, than he got hurt.
Right. Well,
he's in a walking boot after the game against the Patriots.
Yeah, I get that. And, it is the preseason. Guys and teams are extra careful. Again, this is a guy, traditionally through his career who's not been banged up a lot. It's been a lot of nicks and knacks and, ooh, he's on the injury report, but he plays. And I don't think that'll be anything different this year. And he's talked about maybe adjusting the style of play just a little bit. So we'll see where that goes. But, yes, I'm very bullish on the Panthers in general. We both have the Bears as number 3, right? So that's kind of cool. I mean, the Bears are one of the best rosters in football. My logic.
There may be some Bears fans that aren't happy that they're at number 3.
Well, I get that. I mean, really, I try to do this as unbiased. When I went into it, I went, oh, the Bears are going to be a first-round bye type of team for me. But I think we both agree the NFC North is going to be better. I mean, all 3 other teams, we don't have the Packers. I think they're going to be in the conversation. The Lions, I think, will be in the conversation. I'm with you with the Vikes. I think what put me over the top with, like, the Bears and kind of scaring me off there is their first 5 weeks are very good as far as inferior competition. But then they go through some stretches. Their last 4 weeks, they got to play Rodgers and Mahomes again. Week 7, 8, and 9, they just go through some stretches in the middle and the end of their season where I go, ooh, I wonder if they'll survive it. And that's kind of where I kind of bump them down a spot.
You are amazingly old school.
Yes, I am.
Can I do this for a second?
Yes.
I feel like I'm in high school again. He's got a notebook. It's like you took notes in history
I did.
class.
I told you. I sat down Sunday morning and I did the NFC brackets, AFC brackets.
You have a computer.
I know. I just got to write it out, though, because if I did, I worry about my typing. And now I don't have to worry about my typing. I just write and think about my brain.
I would worry about my typing, too, if I had gigantic hands
and
a normal human-sized keyboard,
right.
So I can understand where you're coming
from.
Let's fast forward to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You've got the Cowboys going to Seattle and winning in the wild card round, the revenge of Tony Romo. Remember, that was how his career started with that fumbled snap on the field goal that would have won the game. That's a lot of faith in the Cowboys to go up there and win.
It is. I kind of look at it as I do think they're a team that matches up well with the Seattle Seahawks. They're both very similar, right? Where it's about, oh, this is what we do. We do it really well, and we're just going to out-physical you and out-hustle, and our speed on the field is going to bother you. And I just think the Cowboys are the slightly better version of that, to where, yes, they beat they beat the Seahawks on the road in a wild card game.
And just as surprising, you got the Saints coming here to Chicago and beating the Bears. You got both road teams in the wild card.
I have the Saints because I got them in. They have I think one of the toughest 8 weeks, the first 8 weeks of the season when you look at the Saints. I mean, it's brutal, okay, when you really break it down. I'm just going to roll off some teams here, but it's Texans, Rams, Seahawks, Cowboys, Bucks, okay, Jaguars, Bears. That's their first 7 games of the year. Man, that is brutal. So I do think the Saints, I can envision them getting off to a slow start, ending the season on a hot note, and taking that hot note into Chicago and upsetting the Bears. I don't think that the Saints are a better football team, but Drew Brees, Sean Payton, everything like that, I think in a clutch situation, 1-game playoff scenario, I'm going to take them to win it. We
both have disrespected the defending NFC champions.
I know we have.
Neither of us have the Rams.
I know. I was waiting for you to bring it up.
In the playoffs at all.
Yes. Ultimately, if you're not getting better, you're staying the same. And I feel like that with the Rams, okay?
No, isn't it?
Or
if
no,
you're not getting better,
you're getting worse. Right, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
If you're staying the same, you're getting worse is what I meant to say, really. But, okay, they got Eric Weddle, Clay Matthews, good players, certainly not. But would I rather have Ndamukong Suh or LaMarcus Joyner? Yes. Todd Gurley issue. Andrew Whitworth, a year older. Offensive line was not that great to begin with. Their best offensive lineman, Roger Saffold, leaves in free agency. So, plus, I'm just playing the gut that there's new teams in the playoffs every year, and the Rams in the Super Bowl hangover, it's a real thing. Say what you want, but the losing team in Super Bowl hangover, if you're not named the Patriots, has had issues bouncing back the next year.
3 points scored in the Super Bowl. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. You can't shake that quickly.
Right.
And they're going to be upset. I think Peter's argument yesterday was, well, they're going to come out and they're going to be more decisive and they're going to go for the jugular and you can say all that, but can you do all that? And have the Patriots provided the rest of the NFL with the code cracking of the Rams offense?
I think it's a legit question,
right?
Mike. We got to see it. We got to see if McVay is going to add new things to the offense to, bring back the power onto his side. You're right. I think Vic Fangio, the Patriots, all gave a little bit of a blueprint of how to slow down the McVay and the Rams offense to a degree. And I am interested to see what McVay does this year differently and how he kind of reinvents himself.
All right. Ultimately, we both have the Eagles winning the conference championship. I have them beating the Seahawks at home. Chris has them beating the Panthers at home.
Yep.
And you have ultimate faith in the Eagles to win it all. The Eagles over the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
What a storyline, too. I mean, Andy Reid versus old team. I mean,
isn't it hard to set those aside?
It is. I do. That is the hardest thing about this, right? It's just taking like the bias away. Oh, okay. Gosh, I'm rooting for this team. Like, I'm rooting for the 49ers and my buddy Kyle Shanahan. I'm out there right now. I'm rooting for him. And I wanted to put him in the playoffs, but I said, damn, I think I'm just putting him in the playoffs because I want it to happen. I want my buddy to get in. I don't know if I realistically think that football-wise. And a little bit like we couldn't stamp our name to Jacoby Brissett and the Colts to get in the playoffs, feel the same way with the 49ers. I just can't stamp my approval of, Jimmy Garoppolo, things are going to be great, and they're going to go to the playoffs. I can't do it yet. It's one of those things I kind of see it to believe it first.
But wouldn't the better story be the Chiefs beating the Eagles and Andy Reid finally getting the Super Bowl championship?
But
the Eagles got theirs 2 years ago.
I'm staying true to my belief. I think the Eagles are the better football team. I think they match up well with the Chiefs in general. I had Chiefs-Jaguars, and that could have been Wentz versus Foles in the Super Bowl if the Jaguars end up to play the Eagles. But either way, I think the Eagles are the team this year.
I see the Patriots and the Eagles getting together again for the second time in 3 years.
That would be awesome.
And the Patriots get their revenge.
Get the revenge?
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. What ultimately, okay, you got Eagles over the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. You just don't think Seattle, because I know you love Seattle, you don't think they can go across the country and beat Eagles in their territory?
If Carson Wentz is healthy, it's going to be difficult to do. Now, if Wentz gets injured in December again, then that throws it all into flux. And if they hold on at home in the divisional round, maybe Josh McCown won't be able to handle the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes,
but
right,
I think the
agree,
Seahawks, look, I already thought they were going to be special before Jadeveon Clowney. And I don't know that Clowney dramatically makes them better, but he does make them better.
Definitely does.
And this is a team, I was on radio last night, KJR, one of the affiliates that plays our show live out there in Seattle. Like, why do people continue to disrespect Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson and not recognize what they've been able to do? It's like every year, like, we don't care about that. They got lucky, or Russell Wilson's not that good. He's just a running quarterback. And, they don't have the Legion of Boom. They still are a team that takes full advantage of home field advantage. And which was why it's called home field advantage. You take advantage of it. And Pete Carroll does the best with the roster that he has. He knows how to create that air of competition, and and the offensive line is better than it's ever been during his time there. I think there's a chance they will be the 1 seed.
I don't think it's crazy. I'm with you. I mean, it's one of those things, again, where, I mean, I'm with you with the Seahawks in general, but it's just because they don't have household names yet. I think the public doesn't want to get behind it.
This is the year they become household names.
Exactly right. That's where I feel it too. I mean, we didn't think they were going to get in the playoffs in 2018. We all went, oh, the Seahawks, they're in a rebuilding. Oh, this just in, Pete Carroll and John Schneider know how to evaluate and build a roster. They knew they had something last year, and that they had guys where they could let Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas and everybody else go, where they weren't worried about replacing them or giving them contracts, because they knew they had guys coming up the ranks that were pretty damn good football players too. They've done it before. They're doing it again.
The thing Russell Wilson told me last year after they beat the Lions, at a time when we really weren't sure which way it was going to break for either team last year, he said it feels like 2012 all over again, which makes this 2013, which is the year they ran roughshod over the competition.
Roughshod, that's a new one.
And they won the Super Bowl, blowing the Broncos off the field. So don't be surprised if the Seahawks make something happen this year. And maybe they make us both look wrong as to our NFC championship.
We didn't pick the Packers. We got them out, but it's like...
You're the one's going to have to deal with Aaron Rodgers, not me.
Well, it hurt me. I mean, again, it was hurt me, but I went down to it and I said, man, I got to see this LaFleur offense and everything work before I can put it on paper and go, oh, yeah, I feel good about the Packers. Got to see it to believe it there first.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.